Okay, so you want to talk about like bad first impressions in job interviews?
Mm-hmm.
This Reddit post you sent me about the Starbucks request is like, seriously,
Yeah.
talk about a cautionary tale.
It's it's amazing how
Like some companies are just so clueless
yeah.
when it comes to treating potential employees with like basic respect.
Absolutely. And it's like this whole thing with the coffee, right?
Right.
It seems so simple on the surface, but it actually like reveals these deeper issues, about power dynamics and
And
even like
red flags, legal red flags.
yeah, exactly.
It's like they took everything you shouldn't do when you're trying to hire someone and put it all
Yeah.
into one story.
It's like a master class in what not to do.
A masterclass in how to not hire someone.
Ex
Okay, so this guy, he's applying for an entry-level sales job
okay.
at a small company, right?
Hmm.
Pretty standard, right?
Yeah.
So he aces the phone
Yeah.
interview, which is like the first step, right?
Right.
Gets scheduled for a face-to-face with the owner, which, side note,
Interesting.
a little strange, right?
For entry level, you'd usually
Yeah, I feel like usually for an entry-level position, you'd meet with like a hiring manager or HR first.
right, someone to like screen you. Yeah,
Exactly. But he's thinking, okay, cool, no problem, sounds promising.
yeah.
But then, like 10 minutes later, the recruiter calls back with this really strange request.
Here we go. Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way, can you,
Yeah.
the owner will be expecting a medium, iced, unsweetened Starbucks coffee.
Wow.
Make sure it's unsweetened.
Oh my God.
It's like, first of all, what?
It's so demanding.
Second of all, why?
Like you're already jumping through hoops.
Yeah, it's not even like, can you pick up a coffee on your way? It's like,
You will bring this.
yeah, an expectation.
It's like a test.
It's like they're trying to establish this dynamic already where like you're
Yeah.
the assistant before you've even had the interview.
Totally. It's a power move.
And like trying to disguise it as some kind of like team player
Right. We're all in this together.
test. Go get me coffee.
Show me you're a team player.
Right, exactly.
So manipulative.
It's so manipulative.
But wait, there's more. So during that same call, they're like, oh
Yeah.
no. Oh, yeah. And just out of curiosity, what's your nationality?
Oh, come on.
And your parents' nationality? And how old are you?
I'm like, what does any of that have to do with your ability to like make cold calls?
This is where it crosses a line from like, maybe they're trying to be a little bit quirky
Yeah.
to straight up illegal.
Right.
You cannot ask those questions in an interview. It is a huge red flag.
It's mind-blowing that some companies still operate this way.
It's true. You think with everything that's going on, people would know better.
Right. Like, hello, have you met 2024?
Right. It's not the 1950s anymore.
It's crazy.
It really is. And, it might be more common than you think,
Really?
especially in those initial screening stages. They're interacting with maybe a large pool of candidates.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So they think they can get away with it.
Yeah, and they're trying to weed people out, and maybe they think this is the way to do it. It's like they're trying to, take advantage, right?
Oh, totally, totally.
Have that power imbalance where it's like, oh, I'm the job seeker.
You're desperate.
I really need this.
You're going to overlook all the red flags.
Yeah, you're just so eager to make a good impression.
Especially if you're like early in your career, you don't really know
Right, you don't have the experience.
what's normal, what's not. You're like, oh, maybe this is just how it is.
Maybe everyone has to bring their boss coffee.
Exactly, exactly. So this guy's like, I don't know, not thrilled about this whole coffee situation.
Yeah.
But he's thinking, okay, I'll play along.
Dad at that job.
And then, get this, the same day as this interview,
Oh, no.
he gets a job offer from a different company.
You're kidding.
I know, right?
Talk about timing.
What are the chances?
Wow.
And it's like, a much better opportunity overall. So he does like the, I think, very reasonable thing,
Yeah.
which is he sends a very polite text
Right.
to the first company, letting them know he's no longer available.
Something came up. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, but
Yeah.
here's where it gets really, really interesting or like unprofessional. I don't know what to call it.
Okay.
The recruiter loses it.
Oh, no.
Loses it.
What'd they say?
Like guilt trip, guilt trip, guilt trip.
Oh, no. Really?
You should have told us sooner.
You know how hard we work to set this up?
This puts me in a tough spot. Like what?
Oh, my goodness.
As if he was like obligated to keep this interview slot open, even though he's a job offer.
Wow. Entitled is not even the word.
I know. And then it gets worse.
It does. It gets worse than that.
So the recruiter accidentally sends him the text
Uh-oh.
that was clearly meant for the owner of the company. Like the, oh, can you believe this guy?
Oh, no. The trash talk.
The trash talk
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes, trying to cover their own homes behind the scenes.
Wow. What'd they say?
Basically throws him under the bus,
Yeah.
makes it seem like he, ghosted, didn't give any explanation.
Oh, wow.
No mention of the Starbucks, no mention of the inappropriate questions, nothing.
So they're like straight up lying to the owner.
Totally. But here's a real plot twist.
Mm.
The owner of the company actually sees these messages,
No way.
the unedited version,
Oh, wow.
and decides to reach out to the job seeker directly.
What? Okay, so what'd they say?
What do you make of this? Because they send a very professional apology,
Really?
acknowledging that, yeah, my recruiter was completely out of line,
Like,
thanking him for bringing it to their attention. What is going on?
see, now this is really interesting because it makes you wonder, right?
Yes.
Like, was this a case of a rogue recruiter? Like, did they go off script? Was this like
their own
thing, or is this like a company culture thing?
Yeah, is this a symptom of something bigger?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's hard to say.
You don't know.
Based on this one interaction, we weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, imagine if that got out,
Oh my God.
that text exchange.
Yeah, the screenshots.
Could you imagine the PR nightmare for that company?
Oh, it would be brutal.
Talk about a way to tank your reputation.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age.
Especially with hiring. Everyone's so
Everyone's talking about
they're
that.
sensitive to that, yeah.
Company culture and all that stuff. So it's like, okay, let's say you're this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You dodged a bullet.
Right.
You have this other job offer.
Mm.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you'd be thinking, what just happened?
Totally.
How do you even process that?
Yeah, how do you even wrap your head around that? I think it goes back to trusting your gut, right?
Yeah.
If something feels off.
If you get that feeling in your stomach.
Yeah, if something feels weird, it's probably because it is weird.
Yeah. And it's so easy to be like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they just, they're busy.
It's a small company.
It's a small company.
They're just trying to be quirky.
Yeah, quirky.
I can handle it.
But it's like, come on.
But how they treat you during the hiring process is a huge red flag for the company culture in general.
It sets the tone for the entire
Exactly.
working relationship.
Yeah, if they're already like this.
If they're already this disrespectful of your time before you're even on the payroll,
Yeah.
imagine what it's like.
What are they going to be like a year from now, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a two-way street, right?
It is.
You're interviewing them just as much as
You're interviewing them.
they're interviewing you.
Yeah, know your worth.
Know your worth exactly.
Don't be afraid to say no
Yeah.
to unreasonable requests. Don't be afraid to ask questions
Right.
to clarify something.
Why do I need to bring you a coffee?
Yeah. And if they react poorly to that,
Right. Huge red flag.
huge red flag.
Right.
Run. It's like, what's that saying? When someone shows you who they are,
Believe them.
believe them.
The first time.
The first time.
Yeah.
And walking away from a bad job opportunity,
Yeah.
it's not a failure.
It's not a failure.
It's you prioritize
It's knowing your worth
yourself.
and knowing that something better is out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love that. This whole story it's a good reminder
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes the best opportunities
Yeah.
come from knowing when to walk away from the wrong ones.
100%.
And who knows, maybe by speaking up or walking away, you encourage someone else to do the same. Or
Yeah.
maybe even
You inspire change within that company. You never know.
it could be the start of something bigger.
Exactly.
Wow. I love it. Okay, so big takeaway here.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you're going into a job interview, remember this story. Pay attention to those red flags. Trust your intuition. Don't be afraid to walk away.
Don't be afraid to ask for that coffee order in writing.
And make sure you're getting paid for that coffee run.
Yeah. Oh, man, this was good. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us, everyone. Until next time.